And now for the winner. The enthusiasm and strategic thinking across this nominee's work, while still in the early stages of a bright career, made the nominee a very worthy first winner of this new award. An individual positively influencing across civil engineering sector through his connection with the Institute of Civil Engineers and striving to embed environmentally sound solutions at all times. This nominee is working to implement an environmental practitioner graduate apprenticeship scheme for Scotland, and that is very close to SocEnv's hearts, as is all environmental apprenticeship development. He is leading in his employer's efforts to become the first civil engineering organisation to become carbon neutral, as well as confirming a pledge to net zero and CEnv employer champion status, again, all of which are very close to our heart. This is an engineer who is making and will continue to make a big difference, we believe, with a personal award. Is Chartered Environmentalist Chris Landsburgh, Environmental and Sustainability Manager, Wills Brothers Civil Engineering Limited. So congratulations to Chris. Now, we'd like to invite Chris to provide a few words if possible, so I'm going to therefore hand the control over to Phil, who may be able to engineer that.
Are you there, Chris?
How you doing, guys?
There we go.
Hello, Chris. Have we got you? We've got you live.
How are you doing? Thanks very much.
Oh, congratulations! Well done. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much for that. It's a shock.
It's a real shock. Was it a shock? Well, I mean that's good in so many ways. And what if you could give any advice to aspirant environmentalists, or indeed aspirant chartered environmentalists? What would that advice be?
I suppose it'd be just keep pushing your managers, your leaders, your professional bodies to ensure. Can you hear me okay, first of all?
Yeah, all clear at our end, yeah.
Just to keep pushing your managers, your leaders, your professional bodies to continue embedding environmental stewardship in your working. Just to ensure that if maybe you're presenting environmental or sustainability ideas to them, that you present it with the benefit of the organisation in mind. So for instance, my organisation, we've been presenting it through tender appeals or public image or commercial return. So that's where we've been. That's probably the piece of advice that I'd give.
That's really interesting, because actually, I mean, Wills Brothers is not a newly established company, is it? And it's a traditional. My memory is that it is and was a traditional civil engineering company at one stage. How core as environmentalism come to the civil engineering profession?
I think right now we're probably one of the smaller contractors industry, and we're feeling the burn from COVID-19. I think just yesterday I was having a chat with the management committee and the group of directors who firmly believe that embedding sustainability in our operations needs to be at the forefront. We had a meeting around innovation and innovations around kind of net zero carbon, which you guys will be seeing emerge in the next couple of months, which is pretty good. I'm pretty glad that our management committee is committed to a sustainable future and putting this at the forefront of their recovery. So I think this award, and I think it was put within my application, is more for the team than myself. It's very much that they are embedding it within the heart of their operations, and I'm just the one leading it along the pathway.
Well, I'm sure you're doing yourself down there. Don't forget what we want you to do, and what we are convinced you are doing and will do is inspiring others in the way that you've just described. And actually, yeah, if you can make a difference by helping others make a difference, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Chris, can I? I've just been Dougal here. I've just been sort of having a look at the chat. Congratulations, Chris. Well done.
Cheers, Dougal.
So, Mandy's got a similar question to one I was thinking of actually, which is what was the biggest challenge in or what is the biggest challenge in it, and particularly because it's an engineering business, in terms of getting to net zero and your carbon footprint, if there was one, what's the biggest number, or maybe it's not the biggest number, what is the biggest challenge that actually you can get that number coming down?
It's probably driving education through the procurement team and the tenders teams, and making sure that it's more collaboration and education, I think, within the organisation, and ensure that the procurement team are understanding what carbon means, and ensure they're up to speed and everything, and buying the right things locally, and ensuring that embodied transport's accounted for within the costs. But right now it's a major challenge in the civil engineering industry, and we're working on it. The IC specifically is developing a state of the nation report on net zero by 2050. So you'll see that come out in July. We plug there for the ICE. Yeah.
Well, so I can understand that sometimes, institutional processes are the hardest to turn around, aren't they? When people have been doing something in a certain way, and it maybe not a direct link to carbon. Like, well, if you drive a truck and it turns into an electric truck, you know what you're doing. It's very obvious. But no, I can understand. That's the hard graft. Well, congratulations once again.
Cheers, Dougal.
Okay, Dougal, thank you very much. And Chris, could I just finish by saying, giving you the opportunity to give us any words about how you feel, or any words in response to winning the award? Yeah, sure. There's obviously a lot of innovative work happening at the moment in this space, and I'm pretty glad to be part of it. I think since becoming a chartered environmentalist last year, I, and probably like the rest of the folk on this call, feels I've been going about 100 miles an hour trying to drive industry momentum forward along the sustainability path, particularly in the civil engineering sector, like you said. Pretty glad to have had the opportunity with the IC and IEMA specifically developing guidance around net zero and the future environmental engineer. I think just to finish things off, this morning I sat down in front of my computer, I opened up LinkedIn, as you do most mornings, and saw a flood of posts relating to World Environment Day. So organisations setting net zero targets, contractors pledging to build back better, and charities putting nature at the heart of their operations as biodiversity is the theme. They're all great. I think we're indeed living in a particularly challenging time at the minute, but we need to ensure that these pledges, promises and plans are continued throughout the year. I think the Society for the Environment and all of its professional bodies, whether it be IC or IEMA or others, are in an excellent position to ensure that we come out with a green recovery post-COVID. And I'm certainly glad to be part of the journey and be recognised for it. So happy World Environment Day, and thank you again for the award. Chris, thanks very much. And from us all, keep going. Cheers, Will. Cheers. Thanks very much, Chris.